How you guys doing? Okay, let me just first say that when I came into high school in grade 9, like a full-out preppy, like I had frosted tips and like wore Abercrombie and Fitch, the works. And then I started smoking weed and I started listening to music and like Pink Floyd and shit, and then I was immediately like, oh man, I don't conform to your rules, man. So I started writing poetry, and here's one I wrote when I was 14. This is more like standard angsty young person. Ugh, okay, here we go. Walking through that doorway, never asking to stay, always waiting to say, why does it have to be this way? Looking up into the sky, I wonder why. Looking down to the ground, I wonder how. Walking down that dark alley, looking at the lost shadows. The shadows who have nowhere to go, wandering in the night, waiting for the right night when it's time to fight. But it can never be found, for these shadows can never be sound. The lonely spirits who are waiting to be seen, wanting to go to a place they've never been. Just waiting for that night when the day can be seen. Okay, so that's terrible. But you're 14, you don't know, So now, flash forward to now I'm in grade 12, and I've been writing the whole time, and I'm a full-out hippie. I have like long hair, and I'm like the high school hippie. I have hemp bracelets and shit. and now I really fancy myself a wordsmith. This is at the point where you write and then you apply meaning retroactively. So this one's called Into the Pericles, which I don't even know what that is. Walk upon the flowers that grow through me. Dive into the endless sea of apathy. Stars shine with only the thought of thee. Climb through, around, and underneath. Underneath the stitching and into the Pericles. I don't know. Window pane watching, who's to blame? Sin snatching, who's been slain? Validate your peril with only fees of your carols. Or with only the fees of your carols. Oh, now it makes sense. Take a run through time. Ask why. High-pitched hits missed. Thrown through the clouds. Kissed. Just leave it in the widths of the mist. Soar into the illuminated myth. What the fuck? Daisies crying, tears dying. See how I flipped it? Not tears drying. The daisies are not tears crying. Okay. Blackened red, dripping, walls talking, storms walking. Worn into my stagnant conception. I'm in grade 12. I should. Nailed into my fermented prediction. Ooh. And as I'm stuck with my vague apparition, I climb underneath the stitching and back into the Pericles. I'll just read a little bit of this one, because this is lots of psychedelics, keep in mind. Upon an empty shelf sits a can of refried dreams. We await anxious and in doubt, partially eating, drifting beneath the digestive reef. We seek and hail the sweet relief of this unspeakable treat. Tastes transparent, though the smell is desolate. What could possibly come of this? Dribble, such as bliss, will never see the emptiness since his first kiss. He sentenced us to death without a breath. His passive scent lingers within his debt. Distributors dispense false rope. Not hope. Rope. Designed intentionally to tear upon use, weightless and falling. It's an inevitable pursuit. I drew the refuse of a forgotten muse in order to soothe my childlike point of view. My excuse is nothing more than existence in mute. You know it's bad when people aren't even laughing. They're just like, oh. Okay, thanks so much. I'm sorry.